Alright, this was easily one of the best games of the year because all the runs made it even until the end, and it started with the Nugs out the gates. It was obvious they made a concerted effort to push the rock off every stop they got because that was their best chance to generate easy points, and it helped avoid the half court as much as possible. The Wolves got away with immediate doubles against Yoke whenever he got a mismatch or a post dump because he had too many non-shooters around him, so they couldn't convert on any of their looks from deep on his kickouts, but at least they were getting a lot of cuts playing off him, and they just exploited that non-stop in both OTs. Once Gobert fouled out, the Wolves had to assign Randall onto him, so he kept attacking that matchup for either a quick bucket from a late double, or just kept finding Russ or Gordon inside, and that was leading to a bucket or a whistle every time. That was the only time the post was really effective, but he doesn't even require it to get his because they have patented screening actions for him, and there's still no answer on the inverteds. Bigs just can't navigate screens, and smalls are always going to hedge to avoid the switch, so he's usually open whenever they run it, and it's basically the same thing whenever he gets a pin down. But they weren't just using him on the rock, because they were using him as a screener just as much, so he got a good amount of pops, and those two actions are the main reason for his ridiculous clip from deep this year. That versatility is what allowed him to interchange in that two-man game with either Russ or Gordon throughout, but Gordon was getting his even without Yoke, because he was looking for his no matter what, and that aggression helped him maintain his rhythm the entire night. If he wasn't pulling quick in transition, he was playing his usual bully ball, so between him and Yoke controlling the offense, they were able to get enough production to make up for Maul and MPJ's absence, but the Wolves had just as much from top to bottom, and their entire offense was predicated on exploiting Yoke's levels. It didn't matter if it was from his shows against Ant or his mixed coverages against the others on the rock, because they were bringing him up every time, but I just thought they settled a little too much from deep in the first half, and the only real inside presence they had was Gobert. At least he was using his size, or was constantly slipping to the rim for putbacks, and even throughout the night, their O-boards were a big part of them staying in the game, because they never stopped crashing, and got to every 50-50. It really took until the second half before they started getting downhill more, either attacking closeouts or going at mismatches, and some of it was from NAW being aggressive on the rock or on the catch, but more of it was about Randall finally putting his head down. Early on, he struggled to finish over Yoke, so I think that deterred him from doing it more, but all they really did was play off Ant's gravity, because he was consistently making the right reads throughout, and he didn't force the action until he had to take over in the fourth. He single-handedly put together that 22-8 run that saved their night, and did it with a ridiculous display of shot making, so once he got going, the Nugs had to start outright selling on him in both OTs. He was still able to find openings to get his, and was still making the right pass for the others to get theirs, but as great as he was, it still required an atrocious choke job from Russ for him to win the game. Him and Yoke unfortunately had the free throw plag in the final 20 seconds, so the two split a pair that could have put him up 3, but he made matters worse with 2 heinous acts to top off one of the worst sequences I've ever seen, and tainted one of the most historic performances from Yoke. Just watch the tape.
Edwards looks at the clock, drives, feeds, forwards.
They got a foul.
They got
a foul on the three-point shot.
It's a foul on the three-point